For our music video, we used lots of media technologies. For example, our film camera, which was a Panasonic SD90 HD, that gave us a lot of clearer shots, and it was a lot more useful while filming the actual footage, as we found in last year's project that it was harder to get a good shot because the quality of the camera wasn't quite as good. We also used a tripod, which obviously kept the shot steady, and that was really useful to make sure that the film looked professional and it was effective. Also, we used iPhones to do behind-the-scenes footage and a lot of kind of photos and uploading, and even some blogging, because they're quite a multi-purpose tool for doing such things. We also used a flip camera for filming some of our practice footage, and that ended up actually being used in our music video with the bit with the swing and various other bits, which was good because it meant that we had some backup footage in case we ran out of footage, which we did, and we used as well. We used these also flip cameras in like last year, but we found that they weren't very good quality compared to the cameras we had this year, so we didn't use them as much, but obviously they were useful. We also used iMac computers, which was useful for editing the software and research and everything. And we used iMovie, which was our main editing software, which was where we collected all of the footage and edited it all together and added effects and such things. We also used Final Cut Express to do some of the more technical shots, for example, the split screen, which was a lot harder to do on iMovie than it was on Final Cut. So we got quite technical with that. And we also used iPods, and that was when actually filming the lip syncing, because we had to make sure that it was in time with the song, and it made the editing a lot easier as well because we played it with the camera next to it, so we could hear it out loud, so then we could match it up easily when editing. I also used for digipacks my digital camera, which is a Panasonic Lumix GH2, and that was good for photos for all three of our digipacks, and it also meant I could do some really good shots of our locations and things like that, which made it a lot more interesting to see on the blog what kind of places we were filming in. For example, I have a lot of photographs from Annie Pally and things like that, and that just made the blog a bit more dynamic, and it shows where we went and how we did it and things like that. I also finally used a Hipstamatic app on my iPhone for the vintage looking photos that Ruby laid out. We originally planned on having seeing these photos a lot more close up, but in the end we only used the far away shot. But for the actual photos, I used this app called Hipstamatic, which it has vintage kind of photos, and it makes it look a bit different, and it adds to the retro theme of the video, which we kind of kept throughout the video. We also used for research and planning, we used smartphones for research. So we used the internet, and we created the Twitter account for Ruby Rains so we could have the kind of audience feedback as well. We also obviously use the internet for images and blogging on Blogger and research and all sorts of things like that. And again, we used Blogger for blogging and keeping track and recording our process, and kind of and uploading all of our drafts and just keeping it all in one place so that the examiner can obviously see all of that all together. We also used things like Paint and Photoshop to create the digipacks and the magazine adverts. We put a lot of detail into those and things. And also to make the blogs look a bit more interesting, we use things like Wordle, which is a colourful collection of words that kind of sum up the video and make the blogs look a bit more interesting and dynamic. And we didn't really have things like that last year for our blogs, which is good because obviously it shows that we've improved, that we've got a wider range of media technologies involved. We also, when pitching our idea, we used a Prezi presentation, and we found that was a lot more interesting than a PowerPoint presentation, which I also used for my evaluation. But the Prezi was it made the actual presentation, we could use images and all sorts of things, and it was all a bit more interesting and a bit more eye-catching than a PowerPoint would be. And that was really effective to put on our blog as well. We also used the ASOS lookbook on the internet, which was to decide on the kind of style we wanted Ruby to have, because we wanted a good kind of image and show that a similar sort of outfits in each shot. And obviously they weren't all the same outfit, but like we tried to keep it similar in style. So we used quite girly things like dresses, and even things like shorts and stuff. She still wears lots of bracelets and things like that to kind of keep it colourful and girly and youthful and things like that. Also, finally, we used YouTube, MTV and other music channels and things like that to watch other music videos and to view and kind of research, so that we could learn what's typical and what's not typical of music videos. Then that meant we could decide whether to conform to expectations or to subvert them. So obviously we decided to conform on some counts but subvert on others. Like, for example, we looked at Olly Mers's video for Busy, and he has a very similar idea to us. Well, I mean, we kind of used a similar idea, but we subverted it by making the man the one who is objectified and who is the inanimate object, which we felt was a lot better feminism-wise than Laura Mulvey's theory. But we also learned to kind of like find out what was typical. For example, we looked at Kate Nash's video for Foundations, and we saw that she uses a lot of stop frame animation. So we use lots of stop frame animation in our video. And that is it. I think that's everything that we used. So yes.